All right. Good morning, friends. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Oh, but if you're in the room, your voice needs to be off right now. Oh no. Hearing some voices. Thank you. All right. Today, my friends, I'm gonna give you a little bit of an overview. We're still finishing yesterday's lesson that has to do with really breaking apart our story of Nazarene Secret School. And I'm going to turn into present mode there. So yesterday we made sure we knew what the gist was, and then we looked for, so if I could have everybody who's here to put down the dictionary for a moment so that I know you're listening to what I'm saying. We will look in the dictionary in a moment. So Paxton, if you could just put that down for me. Charlie, if you could put that down for me, that'd be awesome. Thank you. All right, so in today's lesson, we're going to be continuing with that, looking at the details of the book closely and being able to find some information. And today we're going to be answering some what we call some select response questions, where another word you might hear about is multiple choice. And so you guys are kind of used to those because they do that on map. They give you 3 choices. Why don't you get sanitized, Mr. Josh? Thank you. Yeah, I know. So when we have some questions that they ask that have multiple choices, we always go back to the text. And so we're going to practice doing that today, because on Thursday and Friday, we're going to give you a different reading, and you're going to need to use that reading to do some of the things that we've been doing and practicing for the last couple of weeks. But you're going to do that independently. So you're going to have an opportunity to read a story. You're going to have to write the gist, what the gist is of that story on your own independently. They're going to ask you some questions about the story, about some vocabularies, like the questions we're going to go over today. They're also going to ask you to look at what you think the moral or the lesson is. And then they're going to ask you to think about what details in the story make you think about Haida. Oh no. You want to chat with my friends? Yes, you do. All right, I have to get out of this sharing my screen, maybe? Nope. All right. Sorry, Mrs. Aubin. So many things to remember. All right. Okay, is that better, Mrs. Aubin? All right. So I'm going to go back here. So again, overcoming learning challenges near and far has been our theme. We know that we've read 3 different books, and at the end of this week, you'll read another story that has another way some people have overcome some learning challenges in a different place. So we're going to look at these 4 ethical people characteristics. So think about what I've noticed from my class is almost everybody's gotten that homework turned in on time. And I really love that. In fact, some of them got it done a little bit early. But one of those things that when we're ethical people, we have 4 different characteristics. And one of them has to do with integrity. And integrity means doing something even when we don't want to sometimes, and doing things that are hard. And so homework is sometimes something that, well, I was at school all day. I don't want to do my homework. Well, I worked hard on my computer. Why should I have to do something extra? And so that's something that's an integrity issue. When we are taking our assessments on Thursday and Friday, some of them are going to be a little hard because Mrs. Aubin and Mrs. Harrison aren't going to be able to help like they have been for the last 2 weeks. We want to see what you can do. And sometimes that means persevering and doing something that's hard, even if we don't necessarily want to. Some other characteristics we've been talking about are respect. We've been talking about respecting the people that are in the books that we've been reading, respecting each other, especially when we're doing answers, when you guys are working together in small groups. And we have compassion and we have empathy. Empathy, again, is when we understand that we have to take other people's feelings and situations and attitudes into consideration. And compassion is realizing what's going on with those people and having a way to maybe try to help them. All right. So we have been reading Nazarine's Secret School, a true story from Afghanistan. Who was our main character on that one? Nazarene, very good. And where is she from? Afghanistan. Nice job, my friends. Excellent. We are going to be reviewing a couple more of those things before we go on. I'm going to go ahead and escape out of there for just a second so I can turn on my dock camera. So our learning targets today are, I can refer explicitly to the text. Oops, I want it open, but I don't want it open yet. Explicitly to the text to answer questions about Nazarine's Secret School. There's that hard word again, explicitly. Who can remember what explicitly means? And it's also, if you're in my room, you can see it's on the board, our vocabulary board. I'll even give you a hint, it's blue. Explicitly. Abby? Stated clearly and in detail. So we are going to find the details in the story, in the text, and we're going to answer questions about the text, but we're not just going to like look at the answers and go, I don't know, maybe that one. We're going to look in the text in our actual books today and find the answer and be able to even point to it if necessary. Okay. And then we are still going to be thinking about what the central message is, the lesson that we came up with yesterday, and convey those, make sure we're looking for those details as we're reading. All right, so I'm gonna go back to my dock camera. Here was our gist. Everybody at home, this should look familiar, as well as everybody here. So those main parts of our story again, who's the somebody? You said Nazarene, where was she? Small town of Herat in Afghanistan. She wanted to be, her grandma wanted her to be able to go and learn, to make her happy, so she could learn about the world. But going to school was against the law for girls in Afghanistan at that time. But the way they solved it was Nazarine's grandmother takes her to a secret school. And then she's super happy, isn't she? Because she has friends and she's learning new things and she isn't just stuck in her house. So that was our gist. And yesterday we went through this. I'm kind of reviewing because I know some people were missing yesterday. I had a couple, and I know that we might have had a couple people at home missing. So our message or lesson was, some people will take dangerous risks to go to school because learning is important. And that is one of our guiding questions for this particular module. This is, why are education, books, and learning and reading important? So if it's so important, sometimes people in other places are willing to take a dangerous risk. And so we looked in the book and we found out some of those different things that showed us that it was kind of dangerous. So what was one of those details we found in the book that showed it was so dangerous? You guys can look up here for me if you want. Or somebody at home. One of my remote friends, anybody? Miss Abby, you want to start us out? Right. So it was against the law, right, for girls to attend school. So that certainly is, if it's against the law, you're going to get in trouble if you don't follow that, right? So it shows how dangerous it was. What else in the book gave us some ideas? Anybody at home? I'm looking. You guys had this on page 13, I believe. Yep. All right. Haley, what's another one? So the mom went outside, and why is that a problem? Okay. So that was a detail that they added in the story, that women and girls are forbidden to go out alone in the streets without a boy or a man, right? And therefore, when the mom left, did she come back? No, she didn't come back. So we don't know exactly how that worked out for sure, but that makes us, that definitely tells us it's dangerous to leave the house to go to school. We're in. So the soldiers are on the road, right? And so one of our details was they were lucky. It said in the text they were lucky that no soldiers saw them, and that shows that if they got caught going to school, they're probably going to get in pretty big trouble. And we know that being, her mom definitely got in trouble. Were there more details in the story that we found? Yes. These are just 3, but there are more that you could have had. You could have used a picture. You could have used the fact that the boys had distracted the soldiers. There were all kinds of them. All right, so today we're going to work on page 16 and 18. And we're going to look at some questions, and we're going to answer them using using some different strategies. So I'm going to go back over here. So today we're going to look at, oh boy, there it is. All right, I'm going to present again for just a second. So we're going to be close readers and some detectives today. Close readers, does this remind you of a detective? When you get a magnifying glass out and you're looking for clues? They're one of those old time movies where the detective walks around with a magnifying glass and is looking for fingerprints or looking for clues to who might have been the perpetrator. So we're going to be detectives right now. We're going to read small chunks of text slowly. We're going to also think about the gist. That's why I reviewed it. We're going to find some words today that we need to find the meaning of. So we're going to use context clues. Context clues are the words around the word that we're looking at to see if that can help us. We're going to look at affixes, an affix clue, so either a prefix or a suffix. So we had all those pages that helped us with that. We're going to look at the root word, the word that would stand by itself, and see if that gives us a hint. Or as a last option, today we are going to practice looking in our dictionary for a word, because sometimes if you can't do those other things, a dictionary is your best option. And we're going to go back to the text and find evidence for our answers, because that is the way that we make sure we explicitly use the text. We go back and make sure we can point at it. All right. And then when we are, I'm going to get rid of there we go. Just for a second there. All right. So when we are doing selected response questions, there are some strategies. You may have already used these strategies on math when you took the math test, but you also might not have. So let's look at what the suggestions are. It says, read each question slowly and carefully. Raise your hand if you read the question slowly and carefully when you took your math test. I'm hoping to see all the hands. Everybody at home have their hand up, I hope. Slowly and carefully. Why would we want to read the question slowly and carefully? How is that going to help us out? Elena? Okay, because if we read it quickly, we might read it incorrectly, right? Read it wrong, right? And then we might miss an important part of the question. And we want to get the answer right. So we have to make sure we definitely get what the question is asking. Haley.
Another reason why you should read it slowly and carefully is because there might be a very important word in there.
Very good. So Haley said if you read it slowly and carefully, then you might read a word in there that's super important and that you can use again for perhaps one of the other questions, right? Okay. So the first suggestion is to cover the answers and try to think of the answer yourself. So just like not even look at what those multiple choice answers are and just think about what you think the answer is. And then uncover them and see if you can find one that's like the one you thought it was. And in this case, we get to cross off any answers that don't make sense. You can't cross them off. I mean, you can use what do they call that? What do you call that when you do the X out when the answer? What is that called, Miss Abby? Yeah, you can mark it out so that it's not your option on the computer, but in person, we're just gonna actually cross out the answers that we don't like. So that one's gonna be good. And today's important one is we're gonna look back into the text to find evidence for our answers. We're gonna get our book out, and I'm gonna pull the book out for the friends that are at home and have it out so we can look for that answer specifically. All right, so on page 17, I'm gonna go back to my doc camera here. Okay, so here, my friends, so everybody here and at home, I need you to be on page 17 in your workbook. So everybody give me a thumbs up when you are ready for number 1. All right, my friends here are getting ready. So you're gonna need your book and you're gonna need page 17. And in a minute, you're gonna notice you need a diction. You're gonna need your dictionary as well. All right, so number 1, I'm still looking for a couple friends. Everybody there? Page 17. Now, what does it say at the top of the page? What are the big directions in bold? What are the big directions? Before we even read the question, what does that tell us? Nixon? Read page 1. So before I even try to answer the question, I am going to read page 1. So my friends at home, here's page 1. Go ahead and read that on your own. Everybody who's at your desk, you should be finding page 1. It looks like this. Everybody open it up. Because explicitly looking for the text, we are going to point to that answer or point to that word. All right. Everybody at home, good job. What, did you read it to yourself? All right. Okay, my granddaughter Nazreen lives with me in Herat, an ancient city in Afghanistan. Art and music and learning once flourished here. So now that I've read it, let's read the first question. It says, what does flourish mean? Use a dictionary and write the definition in your own words. So let's follow along with that. So here I've got my dictionary. And so I'm going to look at, it says to look up flourished. So flourished has a root word and a suffix. Who sees the suffix at the end of flourished? Who can tell me what the suffix is? Abby? ED. So am I probably going to find the word flourished with the ED in the dictionary? No. Dictionaries tend to have the root word. Sometimes it has also the prefix in the root word, but a lot of times it won't necessarily have the suffix. So we're going to look. Oh, thank you, Ms. Haley, but we're going to walk this together. So what letter are we going to look for first? Sonny? An F. So if you notice in your dictionaries, you have 2 big words that are at the top of your, these are called guide words. Crescendo and culpable. The first one on your left shows you what the first word on the page is. The one over here shows you what the last word on the page is. So if I was looking at these 2 pages, would I find flourished? Flourished. No,
I found flourished.
Right? Starts with the letter C, but we need the letter F. Is the letter F before or after C? After, right? So I'm going to take another chunk. Ah, here we go. Now I'm going to make this a little bit less. There we go. So you can see both pages here. All right. Oh, F and F. Okay. Am I getting closer? Yes. What's the second letter of flourished?
I found flourished.
Excellent. My friends at home, we're going to go ahead and walk through it to make sure everybody can find it, but good job. Good dictionary skills. F-A-F-I. Is F-L going to be between those 2 words? No, because I is before L, right? So I've got a lot of F-I's. Okay, so F-I. Look at that one. Look at that guide word. Not only does it have an L in it, but it also has the next letter, which is O. And it also has U and R and I and S. Our word is definitely on this page? Yes. Normally that won't happen, that you will be able to find exactly that word at the top. But we look for those letters, and here is flourish. All right. So the first one, so when you look at a dictionary, you're going to find, so it's going to be at the bottom of page 133 if you're still struggling. It's at the bottom of page 133. We used our guide words, and then we looked down the list. Luckily, it was an easy one to find today. So page 133 if you haven't found it yet. My friends at home, good job, those of you who found it. Give me a thumbs up when you've got it. All right, Henrik and Nixon, Max and Sawyer, Ellie, good job. Okay. So, does it have the ED on it? No, because that's a suffix telling us past tense, right? And so that our main word is the one we're going to look up instead of the ED. So I'm looking up this word, and then it's got some weird letters right here. It's got right after the word flourish, it has what we call the pronunciation. I'm going to make it real big for a second. So those funny letters are the way that we are pronouncing it. So it shows FL, so fool, and then ish, flourish. Because sometimes just because we can look up a word in the dictionary, it still doesn't mean we know how to pronounce it properly. So flourish is written there in the pronunciation. And then it says noun. A noun is a person, place, or thing. A handwritten decoration. Let me go back to my word, my sentence, and see if that makes any sense. Art and music and learning once flourished here. Oh, I made it too big, and now you guys can't see it. There we go. Flourished here. Is that a decoration? No, because it's got ED. So is it going to be a person, place, or thing? It's not going to be a noun. So it's not the number one. That doesn't make any sense for us. A handwritten decoration. That doesn't make sense in this sentence. So let's go to number 2. A sweeping, showy gesture. Art and music and learning once flourished here. Are the art and music doing this? No. This is a flourish. When we go, when I'm Vanna White on on Wheel of Fortune, she goes like this. That's a flourish. When you move in a fancy way to show off something. But that's not what we're talking about, is it? No. So the last one is number 3. To prosper, to grow well. Okay, let's see if that makes sense. Let's look back at our sentence. Art and music and learning once flourished here. Did it grow here? Did art and music go prosper here? Ah, that is our answer. So we look at number 3 and we get ready to write on the line. But it says in our own words. What words could we use of our own? It said to prosper or to grow. Art and music and learning once flourished here. Sonny, what do you think? What's something that we could put right in our own words? Right. That's so it says use a dictionary. So flourished. It did well. It grew. I'll use prosper because I like that word. That's not technically our own word, but did well, grew, prospered. Why do all of those, are all of those past tense words? Did they happen in the past? Prospered, grew, because flourished has that ed. I also made my answer in the past tense. So flourished means that it did well. It grew. Arts and music, they did a lot of it. It was popular. There was a lot of it. Okay? So flourished, we looked up in our dictionary. On the assessment you're going to do on Thursday and Friday, they're going to ask you to look up a word in the dictionary. So we're going to practice that a little today, even though sometimes they're going to tell us to look at the words around it. That's what we're going to do. Good job, Miss Abby, making a good choice. Oh, that's a good choice. All right, my friends at home, do you have number one? Give me a thumbs up if you've got number one written in there in your workbook. All right, good job, Clara. Good job, Jensen. Astrid is good. Lila M is good. Haley's got it. All right. Robert, how you doing, buddy? You got your answer for number one? Nope, not yet. Okay. Can you see it on the screen? Okay. Leo, are you good? All right, nice job. Gavin, are you good? All right. No? Still right? Okay, you can still be writing. It's okay. All right, I see Ben's fingers. I can't see Ben. Oh, there you are. Awesome job, Ben. All right, are we ready for number two?
What page are we supposed to be on?
We're on page 17 in your workbook. Page 17.
These are the things you need to listen for.
Okay. All right. Question number two. This is what I'm going to ask you to do. We're going to read the question and then you're going to make a choice. And then we're going to talk about what the correct answer was. But I want you to go ahead and let's think about what the answer is first before we read the answers. And use our strategies that we want to use about anytime we're doing a multiple choice sort of thing. All right. So number two, it says read page 2 before we do anything else. So I'm going to get my book out for my friends at home. We're going to turn to page 2. And we're going to read page 2 before we answer anything. Yep. Okay, so when I move the book, you'll be able to see it. Okay, I'm going to put the book up for the moment. Do you have your book out at page 2? Here we go. Then the soldiers came and changed everything. The art and music and learning are gone. Dark clouds hang over the city. So then you can look at the illustration there. Here's the soldiers. Okay, now that we've reread page 2, we're going to read the question. So first, we're not going to read the answers yet. We're just going to look at the question. What does dark clouds hang over the city mean? Okay, so in your head right now, I want you to think about, what do dark clouds hang over the city? What does that mean in this book? Okay, I'm just letting everybody think for a minute. I know everybody wants to answer. That's good. That's good that you want to answer, but I want to get everybody to think first. Okay, everybody have a plan in their head? Now we're going to read the options and see which one's closest to what you were thinking. A, weather in Herat is usually cloudy. Weather in Herat is usually sunny. The mood in Herat is unhappy. The mood in Herat is happy. So unhappy versus happy. Otherwise, those words and those are entirely different. So we're going to go back to our strategies. Are there any answers that anybody feels like I can cross out that are not an option? Oh, lots of hands. Good job, Cole. Okay, so are we happy that the soldiers are there?
No.
No, so we can definitely cross out D. They are not happy campers. So that one is definitely something we can cross out. Now we have 3 choices. Okay, so clouds hang over the city, dark clouds. What do you think, Paxton? Which one do you think is the right one? The top one? Okay, about weather, about the weather. So the picture shows us a dark cloud, doesn't it? And we know that when we have clouds, that usually there's some sort of weather going on. But the author is doing something slightly different here. He's not actually talking about, did the soldiers cause it to be cloudy? Can soldiers do that? No, they cannot change the weather. But what can they change and make happen? Fen? Feelings. They can change everybody's feelings a lot. So if that is true, which answer do you think is most accurate for this? Sawyer? C. The mood is and Harat is unhappy. This is out. I'm going to go ahead and put a box around it, but the directions technically say you underline the correct answer. I'm just going to go ahead and put a box around it, but if you were doing this as a test, you could circle it, you could put a line under it. I have to be able to tell which one you picked, though. So I understand exactly why if you picked weather, because when we talk about clouds, we usually talk about weather, and if there's dark clouds, it's cloudy, it's not very nice. But soldiers can't change the weather, but they sure can change our mood, right? So what is a mood? Mood is, Finn kind of used the right words for it. What is a mood? Josh? Okay, so it's your feelings, right? If the mood of a story is happy, then the story is all the characters are happy, right? In this case, the mood or the feeling of the characters is definitely unhappy. Good job. All right, the next direction, say read page 3. Everybody got page 3 out here, and I'll get page 3 out for my people at home. All right, here we go. Poor Nazreen sat at home all day because girls are forbidden to attend school. The Taliban soldiers don't want girls to learn about the world the way Nazreen's mama and I learned when we were girls. So Mrs. Harrison is referring explicitly to the text. I'm going directly to the page it's telling me and rereading. I'm not trying to use my memory. I'm going back to reread. When you're doing the assessments, you've got to go back and reread the section that they ask you to. All right, it says use clues in the text. What do you think forbidden means? Underline the correct answer. So right now, before you read the answers, think about what you think forbidden means in your head before you look at the answers. A choice, okay? And then, well, we did talk about it yesterday, you're right. So that's why we should have it in our heads before we look, right? Okay, so then our choices are waiting, don't want to, forced, or not allowed. Those are your 4 choices. Let's read the sentence again, just to make sure. Poor Nazreen sat at home all day because girls are forbidden to attend school. Which of the, everybody choose one that you think are our choices. Which, first of all, can we cross any out? Can we cross any out? What do you think? Surname? Waiting. So would she be waiting to, girls are waiting to go to school?
No.
No, that's definitely, we can cross that out. What, is there another one we could cross out? Does anybody think we could get rid of Ellie? Ah, it's not that they don't want to go to school, right? So that leaves us with forced or not allowed. Which one do we think? Anybody at home have a guess that they can tell me? I seem to have lost all my people. Oh, they're there. All right. Anybody at home? All right. Logan Peters, tell me which one you think it is.
Not allowed.
Not allowed. Nice job, my friend. Not allowed. Now, we use the words around it to be able to determine that that was our choice. However, if we wanted to look it up in the dictionary, we're going to practice looking in the dictionary. Okay, so what letter does forbidden start with? F. Okay, is forbidden, does it have a root word inside it? Forbidden. Does it have a root word? Forbid, right? Forbid is our root word. Forbidden tells us a little bit, it's a suffix on the end. So what letter would I look in the dictionary for? I want everybody to help me get your dictionaries out. What letter are we going to start with forbidden? F, okay? So I'm going to find F. Here's that same page I started with before. Okay, F, A, F, I. Is it going to be between those two? No, what is our second letter or forbidden? Oh, so is it going to be on either of these two pages? No, because our last one is F-I. So I'm going to go, oh, there's another F-I. F-L, oh, there's our flourish word. Should I keep going or is this a good page? Keep going. Oh, here's an F-O. So is it likely to be on these two pages? Possibly. For F-O-R. That's good sign, right? How about, what's our next letter? F-O-R-B. For B. There's a G there. Does B come before G? Yes. So is it likely to be on this page? Yes. So let's look up F-O-R. Here's F-O-O. There's F-O-R. F-O-R-A. Not there yet. F-O-R-A-Y. No. F-O-R-B. Ooh, I'm getting closer. Is that our word? Forbear. No. Oh, what do I see here? Forbid. Now, forbidden isn't in the dictionary, but I found forbid. Do you think forbid's going to help me? Probably. What page is forbid on? 135. So if you are looking for forbid, 135. Let's check our answer. Are you on page 135, my friend? Okay, at the bottom. So it's toward the bottom, right? Okay, everybody at home, let's. There's how to say it. Forbid, and there's the pronunciation. Verb. Okay, to prohibit. To order someone not to do something. So I might not know what prohibit means, but does the second definition help me? Yes. To order someone not to do something. Is that the same as not allowed? Yeah. If you order someone not to do something, they are not allowed, right? Are we allowed? We're forbidden from using the water fountains, right? Yes, they're all right up there, right above the sink. Forbidden. Are we forbidden from using the water fountains here? Yeah, we can use a water bottle filler, but we are forbidden to use them because that's a safety issue, isn't it? We are not allowed, or we are ordered someone not to do something. We are not drinking out of the water fountain. So it's forbidden. All right, so that's a good use of our dictionary again. All right. What do I have to do? Okay, we're going to skip number 4 because we actually already did number 4 yesterday. So don't worry about that one. But number 5, what are the directions before we do number 5? Sawyer? Read page 4 and 5. So we better get our books out again. My friends at home, I'll get it out for you. Here you go. Ooh, it's a little hard to read, a little shiny. All right. One night, soldiers came to our house and took my son away with no explanation. Explanation. So number 5, so keep that out so you can refer to it. The question says, if explain means to describe clearly in detail, what do you think an explanation is? Underline the correct answer. So here's where we've taken a word, explain, and added an ending to it, adding a suffix to it to make it into a different word, explanation. Did Mrs. Aubin explain to her class how to do cursive this morning? Yes, she told you in detail. She described clearly in detail. All right. So when we have an explanation, it has explain as part of the word, right? So now, which one of these do you think is an explanation? A short story. B, oh, I saw some people at home give me a no. Give me a no. That was good. No, no, no. A clear description with details, a note with no details, or a special song. What is an explanation? Now let's go back to our sentence and read it one more time. One night, soldiers came to our house and took my son away with no explanation. So, which one of those can we definitely cross out? Let's use our selected response good strategies. Which one, Serene, definitely isn't the right one? Special song. Do you think that's not what they were looking for? Nazarene and her grandmother were not looking for a special song about why he got taken away, right? Anybody else have one that you would like to cross out that's absolutely not the right answer? One you'd like to cross out, Madison? A short story. Where they really weren't expecting the soldiers to tell them a story, right? No. So that leaves us with B and C. So I would go back up to the question. Let's read it carefully one more time and slowly. Here we go. If explain means to describe clearly in detail, what do you think an explanation is? All right, Gavin, what do you think, buddy?
I think the right one is a clear description with details.
Perfect. Yes, my friend, and let's look exactly why. Excellent. Did you see the word describe here? And here's the word description. Is that in common? Yep. And then it says in detail. Mrs. Aubin explained how to do the cursive in detail. So would we want no details or with details? With details. So that is our correct answer. Now I will tell you right away that on the assessment on Thursday and Friday, there are some questions that have very similar answers like these two. And if you don't read it carefully, you might get the wrong answer because you read it too fast. It happens a lot. Kids go, oh, I know what the answer is, and they just circle it and move on, instead of carefully looking at the question and choosing the right answer. Everybody in here is a close reader, as long as you're not rushing it and just trying to go through it quickly. Using our integrity will help you a lot. Okay, top of page 18, my friends. Top of page 18. What are my directions for these two, or for this question? Cooper? Uh-oh. You can come grab one out of that bin, and they're all clean. Or you can sharpen. If you'd rather sharpen, just see it later. You can use my sharpener. All right, what do I have to do? What are the directions, Allie? Read pages 6 and 7. Everybody on page 6 and 7?
Yeah.
All right, my friends at home, we got to read pages 6 and 7. Here we go. We waited many days and nights for his return. All right, I'm just trying to, all right, there we go. Finally, Nazrine's frantic mama went searching for him, even though going out alone in the streets was forbidden for women and girls. All right, so we've got that page. All right, so we're going to go back to our question. We might have to use the book again in a minute to answer it. Number 6, using clues in the text. What do you think frantic means? Underline the correct answer. So write in your head, what do you think frantic means? It said Nazrine's frantic mama. Nazrine's frantic mama went searching for him. What do we think frantic is? We're not going to look at the options yet. Do you have an idea in your head what frantic means? Okay, so now let's look at our choices. Let's see which one is closest to thinking about what you think the answer is. Very calm, shouting loudly, very upset, or whispering. Choose one, my friends. Choose the one that was most like what you thought. Read those choices again. Give me a thumbs up when you have a choice. Give me a thumbs up when you got a choice. Mr. Ben, do you have a choice?
What number do you want to say?
6.
Did we finish number 5?
We did.
So a lot of you don't have number 5.
The one
What was the correct answer for number 5?
B. See, here, Mrs. Aubin, see? See, here it is. They should have the first one and the last one crossed out. Oh, they didn't get the right. Yep, it's right here. Number 6. Which one can I cross out, do you think? Somebody at home, which one is one I can definitely cross out, do you think? Which ones do we know that, Isabella, which one do you think I can cross out?
Very calm.
Very calm. Excellent. Is she very calm when she's leaving the house to go find her husband? No, for sure not. Is there another one we think that's really off that we should not use? What do you think? Nixon. Shouting loudly. Is she shouting loudly when she's leaving?
Even though we're circling very calm as the answer, can we clarify the
So we're crossing out opposite. Yeah, we're crossing out the ones that are wrong and circling the ones that are right. Crossing them out because they're the wrong answer. Was she calm when she left the house searching for her husband? No. Was she shouting loudly?
No.
Why would she not shout loudly when she was leaving the house? Why would she not do that? Why would that be bad, Bird?
Because the soldiers don't find it.
Because she's forbidden to be outside by herself, right? So would she be drawing attention to herself by shouting? No, she would not want the soldiers to see her, so she's not going to shout loudly. So frantic mama. Nazarine's frantic mama went searching for him. So we have 2 choices left. So we're going to circle the right one. What do you think, my friends? Which one is the right one? Abby, what do you think?
Very upset.
Very upset is our correct answer. Now, does it look like she be whispering? Yes, but let's put the word back in. If you were stuck between those 2, we could put it back in the sentence and see which one makes sense. Finally, Nazarine's whispering mama went searching for him. That makes sense? No. Nazarine's very upset mama went searching for him. Charlie, does that sound right? Yeah, that sounds much better. So sometimes you can put the words back into the sentence and see if that makes sense. All right. We already did number 7. We did it yesterday. We found some more details that went with our lesson, our moral. So now we're on number 8. What are the directions for number 8? Sawyer. We got to read pages 8 and 9, don't we? So everybody with their book. The problem is they don't number the pages. So you have to be with me here. All right. Everybody on this page here? 8 and 9. All right. I marked them because I had to count them. So I'd be ready today. You guys can follow along with me. All right. Page 8 and 9. The full moon passed our window many times as Nazarene and I waited. Nazarene never spoke a word. She never smiled. She just sat waiting for her mama and papa to return. I knew I had to do something. Okay, so those are our 2 pages. We're going to refer to them as we answer the question. It says, what does she mean by the full moon passed our window many times? So in your head, before you look through any choices, what do you think it means? The full moon passed our window many times as Nazarene and I waited. Think about full moons. Do they happen every night? Think about that. So when it said the full moon passed our window many times, think about what you know about a full moon. It doesn't happen every night, does it? Are we ready for the choices to see which one we like? A lot of time passed, not very much time passed. The moon went around the earth multiple times in one night. Nazarene liked to look at the sky. So see which one of these matched your answer. And then let's decide which ones to cross out. Okay, anybody at home have one that they want to cross out that they know is definitely not our right answer? Lila M. You have to, yeah, I know you have to undo your.
So I know that we can definitely cross out Nazarene liked to look at the sky.
Very good. Nice job, Lila. Does her looking at this, liking to look at the sky, have anything to really do with this page? No. The full moon passed our window many times as Nazarene and I waited. Now, she might like to look at the night sky, but that's not what the full moon passed our window really means, right? Good job, Lila. Are there any other ones we want to cross out entirely that don't make any sense at all, Max? Not very much time passed. We could cross out that one. Okay. How about C? The moon went around the earth multiple times in one night. Charlie's telling me no. Charlie, why not? It can't do that, right? It doesn't go around multiple. Can you imagine what that would look like? That would be certainly weird, wouldn't it, if the moon was spinning around the earth more than once a night? So the moon went around the earth multiple times in one night is also not our answer. So what does that leave us with then? Hey, a lot of time passed. So a full moon happens about once a month, 28 days, or give or take some. So if a full moon came around, that would be about a month at a time. So if several of them happen, that's saying like several months. They waited for the parents several months. That's a long time, isn't it? To wait and wonder what's happened to your parents, for sure. Okay, so A was our best answer. All right, our directions for the last two here. Our directions for the last two. Miss Elena.
Read pages 10 and 11.
Read pages 10 and 11. So I've got page 10 and 11 here. All right. Okay, here we go. I heard whispers about a school, a secret school for girls, behind a green gate in a nearby lane. I wanted Nazreen to attend this secret school. I wanted her to learn about the world as I had. I wanted her to speak again. So one day, Nazreen and I hurried down the lanes until we came to the green gate. Luckily, no soldier saw us. Okay, so keeping those 2 pages in mind. Let's read the question. Let's not read the answers yet. Here we go. Why does her grandmother want Nazreen to attend the secret school? So in your head, think about what does it say on that page? You could even point to it. What it says it in the text. Why she wants her to learn. Now, listen to the directions for this question. Underline all of the answers that are correct. What do you notice about that direction? Noah.
Circle more than one.
Did you hear that? Noah said we're going to circle more than one. Let's look at this word answers. What is at the end of answers? The letter, what, Abby? The letter S is at the end of answers. So how many answers are we going to have? More than one. We don't know if it's 2 or 3 or 4, but we know that we're going to have more than one answer. Right, Paxton? It says underline all of the answers. Now, friends, remember we have to read the question carefully. We have to read the question slowly. I'm guaranteeing you, if you don't read slowly or carefully, what's going to happen to you? You're going to only pick one, and you're going to miss part of the question. Yes, Mrs. Autumn. Uh-oh. Oh, my goodness.
Exactly. As I come around and look, some kids were like, I get this, I know this, and I understand that.
Oh, totally.
Thank you. But look how tricky this is, you guys.
I'm not just doing.
Go back and fix your work if you went ahead. Mrs. Harrison.
So guys, what I'm trying to do here is I'm not just teaching you about Nazreen's secret school, am I? I'm also giving you test-taking skills. Test-taking skills to help you. Because EL is tricky and sometimes they get more than one answer. So here's our S. All right. Because it was behind a green gate. To learn about the world as she had. To speak again. Because it was in a nearby lane. Okay, there are some answers that are not correct. that are definitely not why she wanted her to go to a secret school. I just want to cross out one for now. Which one would be the best one to cross out for now? Ryder? Because it was behind a green gate. Does it matter that it was a green gate? No. Definitely not. It does not matter that it was a green behind a green gate. But what one can we see in here? What does it say for sure? In fact, it says a sentence right here. I heard whispers. I wanted Nazreen to attend the secret school. I wanted her to. It's in the text. I'm going back to the text and finding it. Which one do you see exactly in there? Cole. To learn about the world, as she said, she says I had, but it's she had in the thing because the book says I had because she's speaking, right? And the story, the she is the grandma, is the I. Very good. Is there another correct answer? Since the answer says answers, Lucas, to speak again. Because it says right in the story, I wanted her to learn about the world as I had. I wanted her to speak again. Explicitly looking at the text, friends, I'm telling you, go back to the story and find the answers because it can be tricky. So the last one says because it wasn't a nearby lane. Well, it was. Did that make it easy for her to get to that secret school? Yes. But is that why she wanted her to attend the secret school? No. It's tricky. It is tricky. Yes. Don't let them trick you, for sure. All right, last one. You guys got this. Why are they lucky? No soldiers saw them. Underline all of the answers. Everybody circle the S. Answers that are correct.
Why are you circling the S?
To remind us that we need more than one
When
answer.
I was a kid, there was only one right answer. So this is so good for me.
And when Mrs. Alvin and I correct your assessments, it's super important that you get all of the answers because each of them counts as a point toward your grade, toward your answer. And so you want to make sure you've got the right ones and you didn't miss one just because you were rushing. Okay? More than one. Here we go. This is tricky. All right. So are you thinking in your head why it's lucky that the soldiers didn't see them? Got an answer in your head? All right, Madison's, yeah, I got this. All right, let's look at the choices. Because the soldiers took her father, because women and girls aren't allowed out alone, because her mama went to look for her father, because girls are forbidden to go to school. Okay, well, all four of those are true, but are they the right answers? No. Just because something's true does not mean it. So let's read the question again. Why are they lucky? No soldiers saw them. Does anybody have one that they'd like me to cross out because they think it's not the right answer? Oh, good. Lots of hands up. My friends at home, anybody? Haley, do you have one that you want me to cross out? Haley, go ahead and unmute and tell me which one you think we could cross out.
Because soldiers took her father.
Yes, good job. Because the soldiers took her father. Yes, the soldiers did take her father, but is that why they're lucky? No, that's not why they're lucky. So we cross out A. All right. Any other one you want me to cross out? Josh, what do you think? Do you like Ethan's answer that he just gave? Yeah. So Ethan's answer, Josh, you agree with that? Yep, because her mama went to look for her father is also, it happened in the story, but is that why they're lucky? No. So what does that leave us with? That leaves us with B and D. Should we just circle them without reading them again? No. Always go back and make sure. because women and girls aren't allowed alone. Is that good? Yes, that's why we should be scared if they see us, but we're lucky if they don't. Okay, let's look at D. Because girls are forbidden to go to school. Is that also why we don't want to see those soldiers? Yes, there you go, my friends. Good job. All right, my friends, thank you. This is hard work. It's test taking skills as well as reading skills. Gotta learn how to take the test as well, and so you can show me how smart you guys are. All right? All right, my friends, head off to Mrs. Obbins. My friends at home, good job. Thank you so much. I will see you guys at 12:45, okay? See you at 12:45.
Bye.
Bye.